A spanking new headquarters for one of the Dublin leagues, the Amateur Football League, the first made-to-measure training and leisure centre in Ireland for junior footballers. Lord Mayor Jim Tunney does the honours to officially open the £260,000 sports hall and dressing room section of the project. A government grant of £105,000 and a promised £25,000 from Dublin Corporation, but the remainder of the £750,000 project will have to be raised by the 320 teams in this league. And despite facilities offered here, most football is of course played on pitches throughout the county and city, played that is when the weather, and thereby the local authorities, allow it to be played. And there's the conflict. Teams often complain that pitches are closed unnecessarily by the corporation and county council in the interests of preserving the turf. In junior football in the Dublin area, there are almost 2,000 teams with a total of 32,000 players. Dublin Corporation supplies 200 pitches for 700 of those. County Council has 190 pitches for another 700 sides, and private grounds account for the rest. We arranged our own fixture to try to settle the dispute. On one side, the Secretary of the Amateur Football League, and on the other, the senior park superintendents of Dublin Corporation and Dublin County Council. Noel Kennelly won the toss and he kicked off.
My contention is that on a morning such as this, where a decision could have been taken yesterday to call off the matches for the weekend, it's very hard for club members to understand the decision that is made by the corporation or county council officials in declaring this particular pitch unplayable.
The conflict, if there is a conflict, and I'm not saying there is not between the football leagues and the local authority, but rather between Mother Nature herself and the football leagues. It's in conflict with nature. The footballers play their games, the soccer players play their games when nature is at rest. So the grass sward has no recuperative power, no capacity to recover from the damage which it gets after a football game. So it has a strictly limited capacity to withstand the wear which it gets during a game in the winter season. And if the football leagues changed over to to another season, or at least some of their matches to the summer season, there wouldn't be any problem at all.
Our pitches have to be available not alone during the winter months, but also throughout the summer season for general recreation, and therefore we must keep them in good condition at all times for the benefit of all the people that actually use them.
We provide football for 32,000 young lads every week for 42 weeks of the year. That doesn't give you much time to look after the pitches. So somewhere along the way, we have to come to a better arrangement where we can play, because if you deprive the people of play, they can turn to either drink, crime or vandalism, and we don't want that.
It has to be recognised, no matter what we do, the recuperative power of grass, the power of grass to recover from damage which is done to it during the winter season is nil or almost nil. And replacing divots or filling holes or anything else, it's just
with the greatest
has very
respect,
little effect.
Shannon, with the greatest respect, take for argument's sake, League of Ireland ground with Tonka Park. At the end of a football season, in the month of May, they allow their ground to be used for maybe 100 matches in a matter of 3 weeks. Now, the pitch is bald, and by August, it is a beautiful piece of turf, ready for football for a whole season. Now, at somewhere along the way, we have to find the answer, because there's a lot of people depending on us collectively arriving at a solution whereby we cater a little bit better than we have been catering.
I do not accept that a bare surface can be grassed down in 1 year. It takes 2 years to establish a surface fit for active play.
We cannot afford to have our pitches completely bald by the end of the season and have them closed completely for the summer months, because they're needed for schoolboy leagues, for athletics purposes, for training, for picnicking right throughout the summer months.
Is there any middle ground, gentlemen, between you at all on this?
Oh yes, there is more indoor recreational space and more all-weather floodlighted space for evening use.
If you need more space, it comes back to the Minister for the Environment. And if he were to designate that in all future developments, no matter where they be, that the first provision in a new building site will be 2 football pitches and a community centre. Build houses then and a church. And then you will tackle the problem right from the very start.